Welcome witches to today's video. We're going to go over our September TBR. I cannot believe it's September. It's also my anniversary month, my mother's birthday, just a season that I love, and I'm excited for it. Also having on a non-book side, I usually love summer. I don't like the cold. The kids are going back to school. I'm just really ready for like the cozy holidays. I'm definitely going to start thinking about fall books that I would really love to read. Next year, I want to do more seasonal reading and think about kind of those vibes. I want to change it up a little bit next year. We'll get into that. Obviously, at the end of the year, I'm always thinking about my reading. And I just absolutely love building TBRs and thinking about the books I'm going to read and getting excited for them. With that being said, let's go ahead and start talking about what we're going to read in September. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. I'm so glad to have you here. If you are here or returning, for those of you that are returning, that's always exciting when I see that, or I see you comment multiple videos. It makes me excited that there's somebody else who has similar interests, likes to talk about the same things. I'm so thankful that you're here. Now, I have another big selection, not quite as big as this month. There are a few that I want to add in, but I want to be a little bit more realistic with my number of books than I did in August, mostly because August I had the soft DNF. I was anticipating DNFing some of those, and some of these are going to be tied to future blogs, so keep a lookout for that. We'll go ahead and, again, trying to catch up on all my book of the month, so we'll go ahead and start with book of the month vlog books that I'm going to do, and the first one will be Alice Feeney's Beautifully Ugly. I'm doing this because my library has the audio that I can borrow, so I can do back and forth. I'm going to get to this one first, plus it's one I've had for another length of time, although the book I picked in September for my September book of the month, I want to read it. I got The Man No One Believed. It's right over there, so I'm looking over there. I'm really excited for that, and I'll get into why I mentioned that in just a moment. But first, let's go over Beautifully Ugly by Alice Feeney. I do like Alice Feeney. I read Rock, Paper, Scissors by her. I also read His and Hers, and I did like both. This is following an author whose wife went missing after they were on a phone call, and she got out of her car. She had slammed her brakes on for some reason. She got out of the car. He obviously told her not to. She did it anyways, and she disappeared. Now he's trying to get his life back on track. He goes to Scotland or Ireland, Scottish Island, a year later, and sees a woman that looks awful lot like his missing wife. I'm excited for that, thinking that I like the Scottish vibe aspect of it. So this will be another really great domestic thriller. Whodunit, where'd she go? Maybe a little bit of Gone Girl mixed in there, maybe a little bit of the J.T. Ellison that I read, the Lie to Me, where the wife leaves and goes and what's going on. There's more to the story. I'm excited to do that. This is where my mention of I really want to read The Man No One Believed and all that is. I got sucked in that I had the painted edges. Silverly by Danny Francis, but I got sucked in because of the painted edges. But I've not heard anything good. I've heard that maybe nobody knows who the author is. It just seems like a very sus book. And I'm a little bit worried that I'm not going to like it. It's a fantasy that I'm either not going to like it. It's kind of long. I'm just not going to be invested. And if that is the case, I will probably move out of this and into The Man No One Believed. That's why I keep mentioning it, because I really want to get to that one. And I'm a little bit hesitant. And if I had really paid attention, I probably would not have picked this book. Another one on my book of the month list is The Man Made of Smoke by Alex North. I also think this cover is so cool. This is a thriller horror. This is following a man who escaped when he was a child, a notorious serial killer. Then sorry, my dog is messing with the tripod. There she is. Get my place to lay. I have books around so she can't go close enough to me. Anyways, this is following a man. He got away from a notorious serial killer when he was younger. Then he grew up, but now his dad died. He's going back to where they lived, trying to figure out why he died, and that maybe it all comes back to that serial killer, which I'm curious, did they ever catch the serial killer? I would think not if he's there. I have some follow-up questions. I have some wonders, and this has intrigued me because of that. Those are the book of the month books that we're going to catch up. These are just a couple of books that I just want to read for the fun of them reading, but Not Your Ex's Hexes by April Asher. I read her other one, which is actually on my top 5, Not the Witch You Wed, was on my top 5 romance. Go check that video out. It was posted. I'll also have it in the cards. Your Ex's Hexes is a fantasy romance or romance with a fantasy, so romantic, following a young lady as she's going to love. This is part of the series that she has. I believe this is the second. This one is a reread, The Ladies of the Secret Circus by Constance Sayers. This is a fantasy. It's dual timeline, so it's in Paris in the 1920s and then Virginia in the early 2000s. What I think was interesting about this is this circus shows up in different places, kind of like in the middle of the night. Got a little bit of the night circus vibes, which I did read the night circus on a side note because I really liked this book, but I didn't like night circus. And also I remember so vividly the stories of being in the circus and those ladies and their lives. But I know that this was because Laura Barnes' fiance disappears on their wedding day. I don't really remember much of that part of it, and her desperate search for answers unexpectedly leads her to her great-grandmother's journey. Soon Laura is swept into a story of a dark circus and an ill-fated love, and of a curse that has been claiming payment for the women in her family for generations. A curse that might be tied to her fiance's mysterious fate. And for some reason, I don't remember that part of it. So I'm like, do I just love the circus part? Will I re-love it as much? Will I get more from it? Like, why don't I remember more of that? But I can vividly like remember scenes and like stuff of the time in the circus. So I want to reread it. The next selection will be part of my 25 in 2025 vlog that I'm doing. There's a piece of fudge right there. I have a super fuzzy blanket. I like to be cozy. Anyways, that is why I have picked out these ones. This is Wizard of Most Wicked Way by Charlie N. Holmberg. This is actually part of a series. They're right here. The Wimbrel House series might be the name of the series. I don't remember. I'll put the other books in the series. This is the last one in the series. So this is the last one in the series and I need to read. This will kind of dual purpose. It's on my 25 and 2025. It will also catch me up in series. This is a really great fantasy book and I would recommend the entire series. I have really enjoyed it so far. Another on my list is The House No One Sees by Adina King. When I picked this on my 25 in 2025, didn't realize this was YA. So I'm a little bit curious, but I have heard really good things about it. This is following a young girl named Penelope whose mother has an opioid addiction. And she has, from my understanding, a strange relationship with her mother. On her 16th birthday, she's asked to come back instead of be with her friends. And she ends up going into her own fairy tale. She's in this house and she's reliving these memories and the house is changing and strange. And I am excited for not necessarily a haunted house, but a house that's alive and part of the story and how all that's going to come together. I think it sounds absolutely engrossing. The next one on the list is How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. I am so excited for this. This gentleman has goes to a fortune teller and she's like, you're going to be murdered one day in the future. And so they're trying to solve their own murder and figure out what's going on. Nobody believes him. People think he's crazy, but then he shows up dead. What? And he's murdered. And we got to figure out what's going on. I think it sounds intriguing, a different premise than something that I have read before. And I'm just really excited for it. And I really want to get to it. I think it's going to be fantastic. I just really like that premise. Thank you for watching, witches. That is the down and dirty of our September TBR. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, witches.